Hello everyone and welcome to the first video on my YouTube channel. As you can probably tell from the title of the video, we're going to be making a Sonic animation. I've been a fan of Sonic for quite some time, and I just recently got into drawing the characters and trying to learn the anatomy. Most of my practice has been mainly copying from the IDW comics, but as of late I've been trying to do more and more stuff from memory, my own ideas, just trying to learn the characters a little bit more, and the only way to do that really is through practice. So drawing the same characters over thousands of times for an animation is probably good practice. I don't know. Well, we're gonna see. I wanted to shout out Jonas D over on YouTube. He was actually the one that inspired me to start this project. I think it's just so amazing what he's been able to do. And so I'm like, you know what, why not? If you put your mind to it, you could do whatever. So let's get started. So while researching this project, because I've never tried traditional 2D animation, I was like, okay, what materials do I need? So to start, I gathered a ton of paper, and I'm going to need way more than this. I then purchased a light board because this is going to make life just so much easier, being able to see the frame prior through the paper I'm currently working on. So I got a light board, plenty of pencils, and erasers and whatnot. I will have plenty of these for throughout the animation. And for the most part, this is the starter kit. Now, I do want to bring up, I mainly work in watercolor when I do my work, so I'm going to start the animation on this thin, like, copy paper, which is pretty cheap to buy. So if I mess up, I'm not messing up on expensive paper, and then after I draw out all my frames, I'm going to transfer them with the light box onto watercolor paper to thus then color it. Now, the next step in this process was figuring out what song I wanted to animate to, and because I watched so many of Jonas D's videos and all he uses is Good Kid music for his Sonic animations, I found this song, which I've never heard of Good Kid till now, and I'm very thankful for being introduced to it. I decided I wanted to use Premiere In, and it is 3 minutes and 32 seconds long, so that means if I am animating at 12 frames per second, I will need 2,544 pieces of paper. So for each frame, but that's how many frames total this will end up being. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Then leads to the subject of the animation. And on the same kind of note, Jonas D does lots of recaps of the games. I would love to do recaps of the IDW comics. And I specifically chose the Metal Virus. I feel like that would be a perfect spot to start. It's a long arc that a lot of people seem to enjoy, and there's a lot to work off of here. So I guess the next step is just to start drawing out a bunch of frames. Along with needing to draw out a bunch of frames, I went through each comic and just kind of wrote notes of like the big things that happened in said comic and maybe things to include, because 3 minutes is a long time, but I can't include every small detail, so I'm going to hit on some like major plot points and just choose from these as to what I want to include. And then go from there. I'm going to, while making frames, because that's going to take forever, because again, 2,000 something pieces of paper, I'm also going to be kind of beatboarding to the music, just so I know what I want to play when, so then I know what events I can take out or what I really feel like needs to be put in what place. So next we'll probably be doing a beatboard storyboard thing. So let's get started on that. So I have this sketchbook, I think I got it for Christmas, and I figured because the paper is really thin, this would probably be really good for thumbnailing the storyboard. So I think each page I'll maybe do like 4 frames, like 4 little beats moments, and then I'll write like the lyrics on the page so I know when in the song these need to play out, and then I could transfer that into the actual frames, if that makes sense. So let's get started. Alright, so I got started on the storyboard. I decided 3 instead of 4 just because it's kind of like the main beats of each section, and I'm doing it based off of each line of lyrics and then how many seconds it takes for that. So I think most of them are like 3 seconds long in length, which is kind of nice because then I know what I'm working with. Which it'll probably kind of depend because 3 seconds really isn't a lot playing out. So I don't know, we'll see. But this is kind of the layout I've got so far. So I'm going to keep working and then start doing my little sketches and go from there. So see you in the next bit. Alright, so I've finally finished my squares, my storyboard setup. It's quite a bit, but I got that all figured out. I was doing 1 line of like the lyrics and stuff at a time, like this. But I had to like pick it up after a bit because I'm like, a lot of these time segments were only 3 seconds long in between, and I figured that's not a lot. Like, yeah, it's going to be like 36 frames, but it's only 3 seconds. You're not going to see much, so I kind of combined some for a longer time frame, so I know what could actually play in that time frame. And then there's like a really long instrumental break in the song, so that goes across several pages just so I know what could fit in there because it's a good 30 seconds, I think. So I crossed that across here, made a note when, because it's the Metal Virus arc, when Sonic and Silver go super, because I have a specific like thought for that. So yeah, super excited. Now time to actually start storyboarding. See you in the next bit. Bye! Alright, it's been forever since I've started working on this project, which in this video you won't see that because it'll all be in one video, but I finally got around to writing all the lyrics down and all of these little beat board frames, and I started like in the spots I knew what I wanted to happen at each lyric in the song and timestamp. I started drawing out just really simple, like they don't look good. One, I can't erase on this paper or it will probably rip it. It's just that bad of paper. And so I started drawing my little thumbnails. I would write notes if I'm just like, okay, what happens, just in case these didn't get the idea across. I also started like the very initial shot opening, but like everything else will probably take a little longer to get around to like what I want where, but this will take some time. But I got started here. And on another note, instead of, I don't know what I was thinking of tracing out all these frames by hand on my light board, but that wasn't going to happen. So I printed this out so this little circle I can align on top when I'm tracing. Also, I have the border, so it'll be easier when I trace it over to watercolor paper, which I also will probably just cut the color paper to size. But I figured this would probably be a good base frame, and then I'll number each of these here, write notes if I need to, up here, so there's plenty of headspace. And then this isn't ginormous, so hopefully it doesn't cost an arm and leg for watercolor paper, even though it will. 2,544 frames, but hopefully it won't be as much, you know? So there's this, but I was thinking about it, because I have never animated traditionally, I think I need to do a couple projects, or animation, like the animation memes or whatever, before I like dive deep into this. Like, I will keep working on like the beat board in between, going from like the other easy animation projects, but just so I could kind of understand what I need for each frame to make it go smoother, look like just some practice, honestly. I think I'll start with a couple animation like memes or whatever they're called first. So while I'm in between working on, you know, the beat board and everything, because the beat board itself will take quite a long time, it's not going to be a fast thing. I was thinking doing some of the dance meme trends things, so I was thinking like the what's it called? The AVGN dancing meme that's been going around, and a bunch of people jumped on it, and I was like, it may be easy, it's a simple dance, but my issue is I just don't know how to count out like the frames per second, but if I'm doing it by hand, and even if I did it on like the computer, I could probably just add like more what's my brain trying to say? Just different, add more frames. That's literally what my brain's trying to say. Just if I could add more frames into it or whatnot, and I think it'd be really fun. Just draw some Sonic characters doing like the dance or whatever. So there's that idea. And then another like trend thing that I was thinking of doing was the Soldier Poet King trend, which I know is so old by this point, but I love the song, and it would be good for like practicing walking cycles, because that's what a lot of the song is. So I think it'd be really good, like easy thing. Okay, not easy. Animation is hard. This is hard. But I feel like it would be a good like starter, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because again, all animation, it takes a lot of skill and patience and practice, but I think this would be a good starting point. And plus, it's kind of like, I don't have to animate it all, because I could just keep repeating the frame until this point kind of thing. So I think those are some good options. So even though we didn't get to the animation in this video, it was more or less just a intro to what my plan is, how I'm going about starting in animation. Some people do it differently. I mean, if you have experience, maybe you could leave some info down below in the comments. If not, like, this is just kind of like the starting point. I'm going to be printing out all these frames next, labeling them. I don't think I want to start, I'm not going to do all 2,000 something frames now, but I will start. Plus, I'm going to do some for one of the animation trends. And then just finishing, oops, as I bend that, then just finishing the beat board. And then I will meet back next video, and I don't know if I'm just going to show like an update or if it will be an animation test, but this is just part like 0 of this animation series, is just gathering the supplies, what I need to do, and moving on from there. So if you want to join in on my journey, I mean, maybe subscribe. YouTube likes to know if, you know, I'm a new person, so maybe that'll get me out there a little bit more. If you want to follow along, leave a like. If not, I mean, that's totally okay. Thank you for joining me on this journey. It will probably take literally ages. This will probably be in the works for a good year. I don't want to be like, yeah, 5 months, whatever. I know I'm hitting busy season at work. It'll be a while. So, but if you want to join along, I'll try and post in community tabs on like progress maybe, or Tumblr, or if I get a Patreon, maybe this will be like progress ways on Patreon. I don't know yet, but you'll probably see more of it here on YouTube, hopefully in the next couple months. In the meantime, I will be posting speed paints, chit-chatty video paint videos, sketchbook tours, and other art content. So if you like seeing that, mainly going to be focused on Sonic, maybe Azrael, Dreamer stuff, because that's my husband's specific interest, and OCs and D&D stuff will probably be like some off, not all the time, but some stuff here and there. I do like painting humans, so you might see some of that, but I'm primarily going to probably be doing a lot of Sonic stuff. So if you like that, maybe follow along. Either way, I hope you all have a lovely, blessed day, and I will maybe see you in the next one. Bye!